Your biggest enemy is not failure, bad luck, or difficult circumstances. It is the negative voice you allow to live inside your mind. The moment you challenge that voice with discipline, purpose, and belief, you begin creating a future that once seemed impossible. Every great achievement begins with a single decision, refusing to let negative thinking control your life. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you consistently plant will eventually grow. If you feed it fear, doubt, and excuses, those habits will shape your future. But when you cultivate confidence, responsibility, and daily discipline, you unlock your true potential. Success is not reserved for the lucky. It belongs to those who train their minds to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against thoughts that quietly convince you to settle for less. Negative thinking rarely arrives like a loud storm. Instead, it whispers. It tells you that you are not ready, not talented enough, not lucky enough, or that success belongs to someone else. If you listen to those whispers every day, they slowly become your reality. The truth is that your life often follows the direction of your thoughts. When you expect failure, you hesitate. When you hesitate, you miss opportunities. When you miss opportunities, you begin believing that life is unfair. The cycle continues until you decide to interrupt it. Think about someone who wants to start a business. Before they even make the first move, they tell themselves, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose everything? Those thoughts alone can stop them before they ever begin. Now imagine another person with the same challenges who says, I may not know everything today, but I can learn every expert once a beginner. The circumstances may be similar, but the mindset creates completely different outcomes. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend life is always easy. Challenges are real, disappointments are real, failure is real, but negative thinking convinces you that those moments define you. A healthy mindset reminds you that they are only temporary lessons. Every setback carries information. Every mistake teaches a better way forward. Every difficult season develops strength that comfort never could. Start paying attention to the conversations you have with yourself. If you constantly criticize yourself and replace those thoughts with honest encouragement, instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I haven't mastered this yet. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this experience teaching me? These small changes may seem simple, but over time, they completely transform the way you approach life. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow instead of feeding your fears. Read books that strengthen your thinking. Listen to ideas that expand your vision. Protect your mind as carefully as you protect your health, because everything you build begins there. Most importantly, take action before you feel completely confident. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you earn. Every small step forward weakens fear and strengthens belief. Every completed task proves that you are more capable than yesterday. Remember, your future is not decided by one bad day or one negative thought. It is shaped by what you choose to believe consistently and what you choose to do despite uncertainty. Master your thoughts, and you will begin to master your life. The moment you refuse to let negativity lead your decisions is the moment you start becoming the person you were always capable of being. Success does not begin when your circumstances change. It begins when you take responsibility for the direction of your life. The moment you stop blaming your past, your environment, or other people for where you are, you discover something powerful. You have the ability to create change. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity. They believe they need more money, more education, better connections, or better timing before they can move forward. While they wait, life keeps moving. The people who achieve meaningful success are rarely those with perfect conditions. They are the ones who decide to use what they already have and improve one step at a time. Imagine two people facing the same setback. Both lose their jobs unexpectedly. The first person spends months complaining, criticizing the economy, and believing that nothing will ever work out. The second person feels the same disappointment, but asks a different question. What can I learn from this? And what can I do today? They update their skills, improve their resume, reach out to new people, and keep applying. Both experience the same challenge, but their response determines their future. Life will never be completely fair. Some people begin with advantages while others must fight for every opportunity. You cannot always control where you start, but you can always control how you respond. Every decision you make today becomes part of the story you will tell tomorrow. Taking responsibility also means accepting your mistakes without letting them define you. Everyone makes poor decisions. Everyone has moments they wish they could change. But growth begins when you stop hiding from those mistakes and start learning from them. Failure is not a permanent identity. It is feedback that helps you become wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the next opportunity. One of the most practical habits you can develop is asking yourself better questions every day. Instead of asking, why is my life so difficult? Ask, what is one action I can take today to improve my situation? Instead of saying, I don't have enough, ask, how can I make better use of what I already have? These simple shifts move your focus away from excuses and towards solutions. Remember that progress is built through small, consistent actions. Reading a few pages each day, learning a new skill, exercising regularly, saving a little money, or keeping your promises to yourself may seem insignificant at first. But these daily choices quietly shape your character and your future. Over time, discipline becomes confidence, and confidence opens doors that once seemed impossible. Your circumstances may influence your journey, but they do not have to define your destination. The power to grow begins the moment you stop waiting for someone else to change your life and decide to lead yourself with purpose. Take ownership of your choices, commit to consistent action, and keep moving forward. Every responsible decision you make today is an investment in the stronger, wiser, and more successful person you are becoming. Every meaningful transformation begins with a simple but powerful decision to grow instead of staying the same. Personal growth is not something that happens automatically with age or experience. It happens when you intentionally choose to become a better version of yourself every single day. The person you are today is the result of the habits, thoughts, and decisions you repeated yesterday. The person you become tomorrow depends on the choices you make starting now. Many people dream about a better life, but few are willing to become the person that life requires. They hope for greater success, stronger relationships, better health, or financial freedom, yet they continue living with the same mindset and the same routines. Nothing changes because they refuse to change. Growth always asks for something in return. It asks for patience, discipline, humility, and the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Think about learning a new skill. At first, everything feels difficult. You make mistakes, feel frustrated, and wonder if you are making any progress at all. But if you continue practicing every day, something remarkable happens. The task that once seemed impossible becomes natural. The same principle applies to every area of life. Confidence is built through repetition. Wisdom is built through experience. Success is built through continuous improvement. Imagine someone who wants to become healthier. They don't become fit by exercising once or eating one healthy meal. They improve by making small choices every day, waking up a little earlier, choosing healthier food, drinking more water, and refusing to quit after a bad day. Those daily decisions may seem insignificant, but over months and years, they create a completely different life. Real growth is often invisible at first, but its results become impossible to ignore. One of the biggest obstacles to personal growth is comparing yourself to others. There will always be someone who appears more successful, more talented, or further ahead. But comparison steals your focus from the only person you truly have the power to improve. Instead of measuring your progress against someone else's journey, measure it against the person you were yesterday. Celebrate every improvement, no matter how small, because every step forward is proof that you are moving in the right direction. Growth also requires the willingness to accept discomfort. Reading when others are scrolling through distractions, learning while others are making excuses, practicing when others are resting, and staying committed when motivation fades. These are the choices that separate ordinary results from extraordinary ones. Comfort may feel good today, but growth creates rewards that last a lifetime. Never believe that it is too late to improve your life. Every new day gives you another opportunity to learn something valuable, develop a stronger habit, or make a wiser decision. The future does not belong to those who know everything. It belongs to those who never stop learning, adapting, and improving. Commit yourself to becoming just a little better every day. Read one more page. Learn one new lesson. Take one more positive action. Small improvements, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results over time. Your greatest investment is not in things you own. It is in the person you are becoming. Grow every day, and your life will eventually reflect the strength, wisdom, and character you have built from within. Your mindset is the foundation upon which every success is built. Before you achieve anything meaningful in the outside world, you must first believe that growth, progress, and possibility exist within you. A success mindset does not mean believing that life will always be easy. It means believing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. Many people spend their lives focusing on what they lack. They think about the opportunities they never had, the mistakes they made, or the obstacles standing in their way. The more they focus on these limitations, the smaller their world becomes. But successful people train themselves to ask different questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "How can I use this experience to become stronger?" That single shift in perspective changes everything. Imagine two students preparing for an important exam. One constantly says, "I'm terrible at this subject. I'll probably fail anyway." Because of that belief, they study less, lose motivation, and perform poorly. The other student admits the subject is difficult, but decides to keep learning one chapter at a time. They ask for help, practice consistently, and improve every week. Their intelligence may not have been different at the beginning, but their mindset created completely different results. Your mind works like a filter. Whatever you focus on becomes more noticeable. If you constantly search for reasons why something cannot be done, your brain will provide endless excuses. If you search for possibilities, your mind begins finding solutions. This is why successful people spend more time solving problems than complaining about them. They understand that challenges are not roadblocks. They are opportunities to develop new skills and stronger character. Developing a success mindset also means accepting that failure is part of progress. Too many people treat failure as proof that they should stop trying. In reality, failure often provides lessons that success never could. Every mistake teaches you something valuable if you are willing to pay attention. Every setback reveals an area where you can improve. Instead of allowing failure to damage your confidence, allow it to sharpen your determination. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another important part of building the right mindset. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the videos you watch, and the conversations you have all shape the way you think. Choose influences that encourage responsibility, discipline, learning, and optimism. Protect your mind from constant negativity, because what you repeatedly consume eventually becomes part of your thinking. Each morning, remind yourself that your attitude is a choice. You may not control every situation, but you always control the effort you bring, the lessons you learn, and the perspective you adopt. Small acts of discipline, consistent learning, and positive thinking build confidence over time. As your confidence grows, your actions become bolder and your results begin to change. Never underestimate the power of a determined mind. Success is rarely the result of one lucky moment. It is the result of thousands of small decisions made with faith, persistence, and purpose. Choose to think differently, choose to act consistently, and choose to believe that every challenge can become a stepping stone. When you develop a mindset focused on growth instead of limitation, you don't just change your circumstances, you change the direction of your entire life. Mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build through the way you respond to life's challenges. Every difficult moment, every disappointment, and every obstacle gives you a choice. You can allow the situation to break your spirit, or you can use it to build a stronger mind. The difference between these two paths is not talent or luck. It is the decision to remain steady when life becomes uncertain. Everyone experiences moments when things do not go according to plan. A goal takes longer than expected. A business struggles. An opportunity disappears. Someone you trusted lets you down. In those moments, your emotions may tell you to quit. They may convince you that your efforts are pointless. But mental strength means refusing to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. It means remembering that one difficult chapter does not define the entire story of your life. Imagine an athlete training for an important competition. Some days they feel motivated, energetic, and confident. Other days they are tired, discouraged, and tempted to skip practice. If they only trained when they felt inspired, they would never reach their full potential. Instead, they rely on discipline. They understand that consistency matters more than emotion. The same principle applies to every area of life. Strong people do not move only when they feel ready. They move because they are committed to their purpose. One of the greatest lessons you can learn is that discomfort is often a sign of growth. Learning a new skill feels uncomfortable. Starting a business feels uncertain. Speaking in front of people can be frightening. Changing old habits requires effort. Instead of running away from these uncomfortable moments, learn to welcome them. They are proof that you are stretching beyond your current limits and becoming someone stronger than you were yesterday. Mental strength also comes from controlling your focus. You cannot control every event that happens around you, but you can control what you choose to dwell on. If you spend all your time thinking about problems, your energy disappears. If you focus on solutions, your mind becomes creative and resourceful. This doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to let them consume your thinking. Another powerful habit is learning to recover quickly from setbacks. Everyone falls. Everyone makes mistakes. The strongest people are not those who never fail. They are the ones who get back up faster each time. Instead of asking, why did this happen? Ask yourself, what lesson can I take from this experience? Every challenge carries knowledge that can prepare you for the next opportunity if you remain willing to learn. Build your mental strength one decision at a time. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Finish what you start. Face difficult conversations with honesty. Replace complaints with action. Read things that challenge your thinking. Spend time with people who encourage growth instead of negativity. These simple daily choices slowly develop resilience that no obstacle can easily destroy. Remember, storms do not last forever, but the strength you build while walking through them can stay with you for a lifetime. Every challenge you overcome becomes evidence that you are capable of handling even greater ones. Train your mind to stay calm, focused, and determined. When your mind becomes stronger than your fears, there is very little in this world that can stop you from creating the life you truly deserve. Personal responsibility is one of the most powerful forces for changing your life. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, fix your problems, or create your future is the moment you begin to discover your true potential. It is easy to blame circumstances, difficult people, or bad luck for where you are. It is much harder to look in the mirror and say, my next chapter depends on the choices I make today. But that single decision can completely transform your life. There will always be things outside your control. You cannot control the economy, the weather, the opinions of other people, or unexpected setbacks. Spending your energy worrying about these things only leaves you feeling powerless. But there is something you always control, your attitude, your effort, your decisions, and your willingness to keep moving forward. When you focus on what you can control instead of what you cannot, you reclaim the power to shape your future. Imagine two coworkers who both dream of getting promoted. One spends every day complaining that management never notices hard work. They criticize the company, arrive just on time, and do only what is required. The other chooses a different path. They improve their skills, volunteer for extra responsibilities, solve problems before being asked, and treat every task as an opportunity to grow. Months later, when an opportunity appears, who is more likely to be trusted with greater responsibility? The difference is not luck. It is the daily choice to take ownership instead of making excuses. Personal responsibility also means being honest with yourself. If a habit is holding you back, acknowledge it. If your knowledge is limited, commit to learning. If your finances are struggling, create a plan instead of avoiding the problem. Growth begins with truth. The more honest you are about your current situation, the clearer your path toward improvement becomes. One of the biggest mindset shifts you can make is replacing blame with curiosity. Instead of saying, this isn't fair, ask, what can I do better next time? Instead of thinking, someone should help me, ask, how can I help myself first? These questions move your attention away from frustration and toward progress. Every solution begins with the willingness to take responsibility. Remember that every small decision matters. Waking up on time, keeping your promises, managing your money wisely, learning a new skill, or treating people with respect may seem like ordinary actions. But repeated over weeks, months, and years, these choices shape your character. Your character, in turn, shapes your future. Success is rarely built through one dramatic moment. It is built through consistent responsibility in the small things that most people overlook. There will be days when taking responsibility feels difficult. You may feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. During those moments, remind yourself that excuses may provide temporary comfort, but they never create lasting results. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, action over delay, and accountability over blame, you become stronger than you were the day before. Your future is not determined by the hand you were dealt. It is influenced by how you choose to play that hand. Take ownership of your life with courage and determination. Accept responsibility for your choices, learn from every experience, and continue moving forward with purpose. When you become the leader of your own life, you stop waiting for change to happen and start creating it yourself. Consistent action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Every person has hopes, goals, and ideas about the life they want to live, but dreams alone never change anything. It is the daily decision to take one more step, even when progress feels slow, that creates extraordinary results over time. Success is rarely built in a single moment. It is built through hundreds of ordinary days where you choose to keep moving forward instead of giving up. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves they will start when they have more confidence, more money, more time, or better circumstances. But perfect conditions rarely exist. If you wait until everything feels easy, you may spend your entire life waiting. The people who accomplish meaningful things understand that action creates clarity. You learn by doing. You grow by trying. You improve by staying committed long after the excitement of a new goal has faded. Think about someone who wants to write a book. They imagine holding the finished copy in their hands, but every day they delay writing because they don't feel inspired. Months pass, then years, and the dream remains unfinished. Another person decides to write just one page every day. Some days the writing is excellent, and other days it feels difficult. Yet they continue. After a year, they have completed a manuscript. The difference was not talent. It was consistency. This principle applies to every part of life. A person who exercises for 30 minutes every day will eventually become healthier than someone who works out intensely once a month. A student who studies 1 hour every evening often outperforms someone who crams the night before an exam. A business owner who serves customers with excellence every day earns trust that no advertisement can buy. Small actions repeated consistently become powerful results. One of the greatest enemies of consistent action is the desire for immediate success. We live in a world that celebrates quick victories, but lasting achievement usually grows quietly. There will be days when your efforts seem invisible. You may wonder if your work is making any difference at all. Those are the moments that test your commitment. Remember that a tree spends years growing strong roots before it reaches impressive heights. Your progress is often developing beneath the surface long before others can see it. Another important lesson is to stop measuring success only by big milestones. Celebrate the discipline of showing up. Celebrate finishing today's task. Celebrate choosing progress over perfection. Every small victory builds confidence, and confidence makes tomorrow's action easier. Momentum is created one decision at a time. If you miss a day or make a mistake, don't let guilt convince you to quit. Everyone experiences setbacks. The key is to return quickly. One missed opportunity does not erase months of effort. The only true failure is deciding that one bad day defines your future. Be patient with yourself, but never stop moving. At the end of each day, ask yourself one simple question. Did I take one meaningful step toward the life I want? If the answer is yes, then you are already making progress. No matter how small that step may seem, keep showing up when others give up. Keep working when results are still invisible. Keep believing when doubt tries to slow you down. Great lives are not built by occasional bursts of effort. They are built by consistent action, repeated with purpose, discipline, and unwavering commitment. Every step you take today is shaping the success you will enjoy tomorrow. Self-belief is the quiet strength that carries you forward when the world gives you no reason to keep going. It is not arrogance, and it is not pretending that you have all the answers. It is the decision to trust that no matter how difficult the road becomes, you have the ability to learn, adapt, and rise again. Before anyone else believes in your dream, you must first believe that your effort has value and that your future can be greater than your present. Many people never fail because they try and lose. They fail because they never begin. They allow fear to convince them that they are not smart enough, talented enough, or experienced enough. They compare themselves to people who have been working toward their goals for years and conclude that they could never reach the same level. What they forget is that every successful person once stood at the beginning uncertain and inexperienced. The only difference is that they chose to move forward despite their doubts. Imagine a young person who dreams of becoming a public speaker. The first time they stand in front of an audience, their hands shake, their voice trembles, and they make mistakes. It would be easy to walk away and decide they are simply not meant for it. But instead, they practice again. They study, improve, and speak at every opportunity they can find. Months later, they notice they are becoming more confident. Years later, they inspire thousands of people. Their success did not begin with confidence. It began with the willingness to believe they could improve. And one of the greatest mindset shifts you can make is understanding that confidence is not a requirement for action. It is a result of action. Waiting until you feel fearless may keep you standing still forever. Every time you face a challenge, every time you keep a promise to yourself, and every time you push beyond your comfort zone, your belief in yourself grows stronger. Confidence is earned through experience, not imagination. Another important lesson is to stop letting other people's opinions define your potential. There will always be people who doubt your goals, question your decisions, or underestimate your abilities. Sometimes they do this because they cannot see your vision. Other times they project their own fears onto you. But your future should never be limited by someone else's imagination. Listen to advice with wisdom, but never surrender your purpose because of criticism. Build self-belief through daily actions. Keep learning even when progress feels slow. Finish the tasks you begin. Celebrate small victories instead of waiting for perfect results. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth and challenge you to become better. Every positive habit becomes another piece of evidence that you are capable of more than you once believed. There will be moments when life tests your confidence. Plans may fail. Doors may close. You may face rejection, disappointment, or unexpected setbacks. During those times, remember that your value does not disappear because of temporary circumstances. A difficult season does not erase your potential. Every challenge is preparing you for a stronger version of yourself, provided you refuse to give up. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Guard it carefully. Speak to yourself with honesty, but also with encouragement. Replace constant doubt with purposeful action. Replace fear with preparation. Replace hesitation with courage. When you begin to trust your ability to grow, no obstacle becomes permanent, and no dream feels completely out of reach. Believe in the person you are becoming even before the results appear. Keep taking the next step. Keep learning from every experience and keep moving forward with determination. Your greatest victories will not come because everything was easy. They will come because you refuse to stop believing in yourself. The moment your belief becomes stronger than your fear is the moment your future begins to change. Negative thinking only has power when you give it permission to stay. Choose today to replace doubt with determination, excuses with action, and fear with faith in your ability to grow. Your future is built by the thoughts you repeat and the actions you consistently take. Master your mind, remain disciplined, and never stop improving yourself. The life you dream about begins the moment you decide that your mindset will no longer stand in your way.